Welcome to Osaka.
We've just spent 5 magical days in Japan's beautiful and very tidy capital city, Tokyo, before catching the Shinkansen 298 miles, taking just over 2 hours to Japan's food capital, Osaka. Osaka is the second largest city in Japan, famous for Osaka Castle, the oldest Buddhist temple in Japan, and the insta-famous neon lighting of Dotonbori.
Just arrived off the Shinkansen, what an incredible experience. If you want to see that, see the full review on our channel. Otherwise, we've just checked in the hotel and we're going out for some Middle Eastern food because Japan has some incredible food, but sometimes you just want something a little bit different.
For our stay in Osaka, we're staying at the reasonably priced and modern Courtyard Hotel, which is situated between 2 metro stations in the city centre. Our journey from Tokyo has left us a little bit tired, so we're just making a short 5-minute walk over to Hub, which has a collection of different restaurants to eat at, including the Shawarma House. We have to admit this is not the best shawarma we've ever had, but it's pretty cheap, it's tasty and filling, and it'll allow us to explore during the afternoon. With lunch a distant memory, we're in search of something sweet, and we're better than Shinseki, which is an easy 30-minute ride on the Sakai Suji line, only 3 stops away. And unlike Tokyo, if you have an American Express credit card, you can touch it and touch out to your heart's content everywhere on the metro.
Welcome to Shinseki Market.
Established in 1916 after being reconstructed, it has over 50 stores, and it's home to a large neon-lit tower and observation deck right in the centre. It doesn't have the same wow factor as Dotonbori, but it's certainly worth a visit for a drink, food, or a sweet treat. Not always, but if there's a queue, it's got to be good. And having been in Japan for 6 days, we've not had any matcha, but that's about to change.
I found this place just around the corner. I'm having a matcha and uji, probably vanilla ice cream, and Brent's having a
happy custard or something. Not crazy about it, it's cold.
Oh, that kind of sucks. Ooh, this is good though. I didn't know if I'd like matcha, but this is really good. I win. There's a kind of like golden baby theme. It's kind of catchy, kind of creepy.
After a quick search online, the Billiken, as they're called, is the official mascot of Osaka. However, its origin is actually from the USA. Billikens almost have a monkey-like face with a wide grin, and it always sits with its feet outwards. It's certainly a memorable character. After seeing the vending machine, we weren't really that thirsty, but we did find our favourite sweet from a family mart, the sweet and sour Pikachu sweet. Just on the corner is Shinseki, and this is such an Asian experience, is Don Quijote. And if you haven't been inside before, it's such an experience. Well, at least the song is really catchy. It's one of those stores that literally sells everything, but you probably don't need it, so I wouldn't detour to visit one, but if you see one, the choice is yours.
If you can't tell from the eyes, we're pretty shattered. See you in the morning. Do you know which country made the cup noodle? Well, we're about to find out everything we possibly can at the Cup Noodle Museum.
The Cup Noodle Museum isn't in the centre of Osaka, so we're catching the Midasuji line north to Umeda Station, only a couple of stops.
Now Now a quick change for the Tarakazuka main line.
Once you've arrived at Umeda Station, you'll need to make a 5-minute walk over to the confusingly named Osaka Umeda Station. Then just make sure you're on the first floor, where you can catch the very beautifully maroon coloured electric 1000 and 6000 series trains, which have a beautifully green line seat. We're also boarding an express service which will whisk us north past Itami Airport and onwards to Akita Station. Make sure you exit on the south side of the station, and it takes no more than 5 minutes to reach the Cup Noodle Museum.
So it is totally free to go in here, but we've gone for the Make My Cup Noodle card, so we're going to make our own cup noodle. Pretty excited about that.
Back home, a cup noodle will set you back about $1.20, but that's not fun. So for 500 yen, which is closer to $3.50, the experience is totally worth it. This is so much fun. Simply insert the money into the machine, you're then directed to a table with lots of colourful pens, where you can decorate your own pot, but you also need to write today's date.
So once you put the date on there, which I think is a sell by date, then you have to go over there to make your own pot noodle.
Sadly, as my Japanese was non-existent, I'm not exactly sure why the noodles are loaded this way, but afterwards you get to pick your own flavours. I did go for the chicken and suddenly realised my mistake, that it was extra hot, which gave the employees a good laugh. The process of making your own is ridiculously simple, but for some reason it's one of the most satisfying things in the world.
Have our own cup noodles.
Hey. That was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. It's so simple, but so much fun, so please do come here.
There are a few interesting facts and exhibits downstairs, but depending on how invested you are, this could be a 5-minute detour.
That was a lot of fun. I think it's a bit like Mexico. We went to that chocolate factory. It's basically to sell cup noodles, but it is a lot of fun.
If this is your first time in Japan, it's common to see a vending machine outside the restaurant, which is where you pay and select the meal and then you get a receipt. This lets the chef know what meal to prepare, so whilst you wait for a table to become free outside, it means once seated, your food should arrive really quickly. What a very efficient way to dine.
Such a good choice for ramen. Absolutely beautiful meal. Now we're having some mochi.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. What flavour is it?
Strawberry?
With it being only midday, we want to make the most of our 3 nights in Osaka. So we're making our way back to Osaka Umeda Station before taking a casual walk in the direction of Osaka Castle, because in honesty the portions here are really filling. From Umeda there are plenty of good walking routes, but one must take us past Osaka Tenmangu Shrine. With the temperature in the mid-20s, we made a stop at one of Japan's 4 million vending machines. And with a population of 123 million, that's one machine to every 30 citizens.
So we have like a real gold lemon drink. I have no idea what that is. But I love lemon, so.
So it's a 10th century Shinto shrine. Everything else I'll do on the voiceover because it's just too much information and I am tired.
Osaka Tenmangu Shrine dates back to the 10th century and is popular amongst students who come here to pray for good exam results. The design draws a lot of visitors because of the large grounds and the very pretty architecture. It embodies a very calming and tranquil interaction, and it's totally free to visit. We've decided to walk south towards the river in the direction of Osaka Castle, with the total journey taking 37 minutes. But if your legs are saying no, you can catch the Tanamachi line with a 10-minute walk on the end.
So this is quite a change. It is really hot now in Osaka.
Luckily, we're currently aware that we're about to climb nearly 200 steps to the top of Osaka Castle.
And it's a really good time to come to Japan because all the trees are just so beautiful with the autumn foliage.
I agree, so pretty.
Entry to the castle costs 600 yen, which seems pretty reasonable considering that's just slightly more than making your own cup noodle.
Make sure you book your tickets online because the queue to get tickets was huge. 176 steps.
I'll just point out the stairs are totally optional, but because it's a Saturday, the queue for the lifts were incredibly long. Heading back down the stairs, each floor has plenty of history, graphics and models, depicting the history of the castle, but just note that you cannot use your camera on many of the pieces. Personally, being so exhausted from the climb up with the crowds, we'd have been happy just seeing it from the outside, but the view was glorious.
So that was really enjoyable. I loved it. It was 10 out of 10. But I love going to a castle, so yeah, I loved it.
In Tokyo, we visited the Owl Cafe, but we're missing our cats back home. So we're walking 37 minutes to the Shelter Cat and Vegan Cafe. The staff here are really warmly greeting us, and we're heading upstairs to the second level to have an ice cream and a cup of tea, noting that everything served here is vegan. And how cute is that little milk pourer? You also get to watch the cat at the same time playing. There are 2 floors in total and it costs 1500 yen per person for 1 hour interacting with the cat.
It was a very calming, relaxing experience, and now it's back to the hotel for a bit because later we're going to Dotonbori.
With a quick stop to the 7-Eleven that's local to us because we must try Japan's famous egg sandwich.
So good.
Yes, we could have walked, which takes 26 minutes, but I cannot warn you enough about good shoes and walking loads in Japan. You just can't avoid it. So we're taking the Sakasuji line 2 stops south to Dotonbori.
There's like an underground shopping mall which has so many food places, and it'll take you right to the most exciting point in Dotonbori. So despite being in Japan for a few days now, this is the first shop we've seen which is to do with Studio Ghibli.
Dotonbori is another insta-famous destination, with good reason. It has a thriving nightlife, hundreds of bars, restaurants, with the main focal point being where the canal runs through it. The most famous point though has to be the Dotonbori Bridge, where thousands of tourists cross just to see the Glyco running man, which is the most famous sign in the area. The huge illumination runner advertises a popular Japanese snack company.
So Brent's not good with heights. I probably wouldn't go on that either. So
Heading to the north, it's also a great place for shopping, including the likes of Ralph Lauren. But with lunch a very distant memory, we're pretty hungry, so we've been eyeing up a bakery.
sometimes you just fancy a burger. Are you excited?
I am really excited. Yeah.
Why are you excited?
Because we are seeing deers
Wow.
at the park, Nara Park.
Off to Nara.
There are quite a few ways to get to Nara, which is 30 kilometers to the east of Osaka. It's best to consult Google Maps. After Osaka, we plan to go to Kyoto, and this is where we discovered a much more comfortable way to get there, but that's in another video. Eventually, we found a train with a destination Nara, and on our way, it takes about 3 minutes from here.
So I found this little beaut, and it is a matcha chocolate bun. It's not quite as good as I thought it was, but it's pretty good.
Around the park, there are vendors selling deer-approved food. It costs 200 yen, and you get about 10 crackers. They only take cash, and please don't feed them anything else.
It has to be one of the most satisfying experiences. And they're so calm and so chilled.
After quickly running out of crackers due to our new friends, we're heading up the hill to the Himuru Shrine. Not to be unkind to this particular shrine, but there are so many in Japan, and it is possible to get a little bit bored of seeing them. So we venture further up the road and we find a small shopping complex, with a shop selling mochi. As you can see, Japan has a little way to go to being a bit more tourist friendly, given that everything is in Japanese. What we didn't realise was that this particular mochi is sweet potato, and we're not a fan.
I'm not crazy about it, but
Oh.
so much.
There's even a gift shop which sells every kind of known sweet treat, drink or sake from Japan, and the prices are pretty reasonable. We highly recommend the matcha Kit Kats.
Prices for food can be a little bit higher than the town centre, so just bear that in mind.
Speaking of lunch, we plan to make a little buffet out of items from our local 7-Eleven. And if this is your first time to Japan, at the very least, please try the egg sandwich. It will blow your mind.
So we sort of did on the Tokyo portion. We haven't done this on the Osaka one. We're just going to see what we can find in 7-Eleven that's really tasty. So we've got some beautiful things here. We've got yuzu and lemon drink, which I'm really looking forward to. The famous egg sandwich, but they didn't have the double one, so I've gone for tuna at the same time. Brent's got mochi. Ooh. And then I found these over in Tokyo, and they're basically like chocolate corn puffs, which look pretty good. And last, we're going to share this one, but it's a matcha and cheese parfait.
As well as tuna mayonnaise, rice, Brent's also found fried chicken.
And it gets all weirder, but also better at the bottom. It's kind of like jelly mixed with cream, mixed with matcha.
It's hungry o'clock, and we're heading to Ichimuan, which is a curry restaurant just north of Dotonbori.
This is the place for Manu Kanti. Unfortunately, it says it's open 24 hours online, but it is closed.
According to the reviews, we aren't the first people to have this problem. Luckily, we found a backup just a few minutes away, by the name of Saransuki, which is a popular place to get fried chicken with rice, and we highly recommend it.
Because me and Brett are two foodies, we found these custard eclairs. We could have shared one, but no, we're on holiday. It's the chocolate that makes it.
I love like the unique centre.
Now, if you watched our Tokyo video, you know how incredible an experience it was to visit both Team Lab's Borderless and Planets. And if you haven't, please check it out. So when we heard they have an outdoor garden in Osaka, we were keen to see it. There's just enough time to explore the sparkly lights of Dotonbori one more time, before we head south. To get from Dotonbori to Team Lab's Botanical Garden, you need to take the Midasuji line 6 stops south, taking about 30 minutes in total.
This is going to be a long journey.
Once you arrive at Nagai Station, make sure you leave the station using exit 3, which will take you up to the corner of the park. It can then be a little confusing looking at Google Maps, but the route is pretty simple once you know it. Unlike the Team Lab venues in Tokyo, tickets are only available for the evening, because it wouldn't work in the daytime, and the price lower than Tokyo, starting at 1800 yen. You can also arrive at any time you like after 6:30 PM. Just bear in mind it closes at 9:30. To be completely honest with you and up front, having visited all three, we didn't feel the joy we felt for Borderless or Planet. We did love the interaction with the resonated microorganisms, which can change colour when you touch or rock them, and the forest of autonomous resonating life. These felt a little bit like repeats of the venues in Tokyo, in the outdoors. As one person reviewed online, there is a fire projected onto some trees, and they were astounded that so many people were just standing there to take photographs. In honesty, we agree on that one, and it didn't impress. Did we feel cheated? No. But would we go back? Sadly, not.
So if you're going to visit, do this one first, and then Tokyo. I know it's difficult to do, and I'm not going to tell you how to do your trip, but that's just my advice. So we've had a fantastic time in Osaka. We didn't think we would like it first, and to be fair, at the end we love it and we'd definitely come back. What are your thoughts, Brent?
Yeah, I don't think I'd like it as much after the first night, but it was really good. I really enjoyed Osaka.
I think, to be fair, we started with the bad stuff or the not so interesting, and we ended on a high.
With less than a week left before we have to leave Japan, sad. The only sensible place to visit next would be the cultural beauty that is Kyoto. It's a very easy journey, only 45 minutes away on the metro, or even quicker by train. And we will be all loved up with the laksa soup. And the yuzu ice cream, delicious. Wandering through the bamboo forest and taking it all in, and the wonder that is the Fushimi Inari Taishi Shinto Shrine, and engaging with the locals. All while finding lots of cute and delicious hidden gems along the way. Sorry not sorry, we'll be seeing more trains, with the first generation Shinkansen. And if you haven't already, it would mean the world to us if you like the video and subscribe to our channel. So all that's left to say is, ご覧いただきありがとうございます。